Alrighty, 5 and a 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, and welcome in, everybody. Hope y'all are having a fantastic, fantabulous, awesome freaking day. My name is Garrett Shoemake, and this is the Shoemake Take, coming at you with my Week 3 recap. Alright, that's a great start, but Week 3 was incredible, had a lot of great games, had a couple upsets, which we'll talk about near the end, but also this week was highlighted by special teams and defensive touchdowns. There were so many walk-off field goals this week. There was multiple blocked field goals this week, return for touchdowns, setting records. Like, holy smokes, we got big plays this week. It was so much fun looking at all the highlights. Quite frankly, one of the best weeks we've had in a long time for NFL football, if I'm being honest with you. It was incredible. Usually we get a week like this later in the year. We're getting it right now in Week 3, and I'm not complaining, guys. This is great stuff. But one more thing before we jump into the recap. I don't think I'm going to try and put weekly recaps on Tuesdays anymore. I'm recording this Monday night immediately after the Ravens got smoked in the fourth quarter by the Detroit Lions, and quite frankly, trying to record this and then edit the video in its entirety after the game, it's just too much cramming. It's too stressful. So videos, the weekly recaps are probably going to come out Wednesday, and then weekly previews are going to come out Thursday. That's not what I want, but honestly, I'd rather not stress myself out and just focus on making the best content I can make. I think that's what's more important right now, and that's where my focus should be. So that's going to be like the only change I'm making for a long time. So until then, or now, I don't know. I'm not, I don't know anymore at this point. But you guys get the point. You guys get the picture. Now we can move into the recap, and as we say, let it recap. Starting with number 5, the Panthers destroyed the Falcons 30-0, and I mean, wow. I picked Carolina to win, but not like this. Jeez. Atlanta, did they wake up on the wrong side of the bed or what? The first key, getting Bijan involved, was nullified because they got down big, taking him out of the game, and that's a shame because he wasn't bad, but that's what happens in situations like this. And then key 2, getting pressure on Bryce Young, not good enough. Only 1 sack and multiple plays that they could not finish on, like this touchdown run here. Very disappointing after what this bunch did the first 2 weeks. And then the third key, stopping the run, also was not good enough. Chuba Hubbard played well. Rico Dowdle got involved. 110 rushing yards in total for Carolina. And to cap it off, what a disappointing loss. Atlanta, still not quite there yet. Michael Penix Jr. had 2 picks. New kicker, John Parker Romo, also missed 2 field goals. Maybe they shouldn't have cut Young Hoku. They fall to 1-2. Quite the tale of twos for the Falcons. Then we move to the Panthers side of things and getting to key 1, playing away from the defense. Didn't see a whole lot of it, but the offensive line overall played better in this game, and seeing that is encouraging, so here's the hoping that continues. Then look, key 2, the playmakers stepping up. Tetero and McMillan, big 4th down catch here, very critical play, set up the touchdown run from Bryce Young, but outside of that, it was passable. The offense stayed on schedule, not one player really stepped up. The running game was solid, and as a unit, they took care of the ball, got down the field, and that's all you really want, so they passed. Lastly, with key 3, landing punches when it mattered on the defense, and boy, did they. Not just 1, but 2 interceptions. The first one ran back for 6. The defense played great in this game. Pitching a shutout against one of the best offenses in the NFL is no easy task. They did so, and the Panthers bounced back and moved to 1-2. Then we move to number 4, where the Jags defeat the Texans 17-10, and it was a close game like I expected. Just switched to see a little bit more overall, but getting to Houston first, key number 1 for them was to distribute the ball in the passing game and the running game, and I gotta say they tried. They got multiple backs involved, multiple receivers had multiple catches, but the production simply didn't match. Nico Collins was the only receiver that really did much of anything. The offense struggled all game long, and then getting into key 2, getting pressure on Trevor Lawrence, they were kind of They had good and bad moments. The ball was getting out quick for Jacksonville. They did force a pick here, though. But the defense kept them in the game. Quite frankly, the offense really didn't do its job. And then the last key, winning the turnover battle, they lost. CJ Stroud was picked twice. Bad fumble by Nico Collins in the fourth quarter. And I said who wins this the turnover battle will win this game. And the Texans did not. They fall to 0-3. Is it time to hit the panic button in Houston? Now we get to Jacksonville getting a big divisional win for them. Key 1 keeping Trevor Lawrence clean, it was fine. Liam Cohen did a great job calling plays. They got the ball out quick. There were plenty of drops by the receivers too, so that's interesting to note. But overall, they did enough. Next on Key 2, getting in the run game going, Travis Etienne going. They did a poor job. 3.5 yards per carry and 86 rushing yards is not good enough. The offense overall showed growing pains today, but that's okay because this defense put them on their back, and I said lean on us. They did something, accomplishing Key 3, remaining disciplined. They kept the Texans in check, made big plays, and really helped their offense in this game. Jaguars moved to 2-1 and already look a lot better than last year. Heading out west now, let's talk about the 49ers defeating the Cardinals 16-15 off a game-winning field goal by newly acquired Eddie Piñeiro. This one was a defensive battle through and through. Let's start with Arizona and Key 1, stopping the run, and they did good here. They held Christian McCaffrey to 3 yards per carry. The offense for the 49ers had its fair share of struggles overall, and this is why, then looking at Key 2, helping out their secondary needed to be so important, but they did not do a great job. They did have moments, like this pick right here by Dadrian Taylor, but allowing Ricky Pearsall to have a day like he did, over 100 yards, and Christian McCaffrey moving the chains in the passing game, and also not allowing the final drive to happen, or allowing the final drive to happen, simply not going to work. And then Key 3, getting Marvin Harrison Jr. more involved. Nope, didn't hit this on this one. 3 catches, 44 yards, led the team, not good enough. Also had this very big drop here, very disappointing. After all that, the Cardinals could have won, but got to acknowledge this missed kick early in the game by Chad Ryland. Cards fall to 2-1. Then we get to the 49ers side, and despite the win, they didn't do much better in their keys. Key 1 helping Mac Jones. There were bright spots, but there were others where things were not looking great. But Mac got better help than Kyler Murray, which is a battle the 49ers ended up winning. Key 2 throwing the kitchen sink, getting everybody involved. It was a crapshoot. Outside of Christian McCaffrey in the pass game and Ricky Pearsall, no one did very much. Kendrick Bourne maybe, 4 catches is fine, but nothing after that. But they tried to do so, the execution just didn't match. Now getting to Key 3, slowing down Kyler Murray. Yes, they did. They held him to less than 200 yards passing. Did allow a couple runs, but by no means were their backs broken. They did a good job culminating in this amazing pass breakup by the rookie Upton Stout. Wow. Giving their defense, or giving their offense, the opportunity to go down and win the game. 49ers move to 3-0, and they're bouncing back from last year just fine. Here we go now. The games are getting better. The Eagles make a 19-point comeback to upset the Rams 33-26. And how about this game-winning field goal? Blocked! Jordan Davis picks it up and runs it back for a touchdown, sealing the win. Starting with the Rams, though, and their keys, winning up front. They did on both ends. The offensive line did a good job keeping Stafford clean, accomplishing key number 2. But this defensive line, man, 4 sacks, got pressure, they were good, but the Eagles did enough to slow it down in the second half and do their job. So not 100%, but there was good things to look at. Lastly, with Key 3 attacking Adoree Jackson specifically, they had some success against him. Adoree Jackson ended up leaving in the game with a groin injury in the 4th quarter, so hope he gets better soon. But the Rams, again, did have success targeting him. Overall disappointing loss. They had the lead and blew it. This is the one the Rams had in their hands, and they lost it and fall to 2-1 on the year. Now we get to Philly, and if I have one word for them this season so far, it's perseverance. Starting with Key 1 winning up front. Not a great job on their end. Jalen Hurts was not kept clean. Saquon Barkley had a day to forget. He was awful in this game. And on the defensive side, they bowed up when it mattered, but did allow the Rams to get up so big in the first place, and not winning in the trenches is where it starts. Right tackle Lane Johnson on the offensive line also went down early in the game. Hope he gets better. That is a huge blow to this offensive line. Getting to Key 2, pressuring Matthew Stafford. They started rough, but as the comeback was building, they did a better job. Not a full yes, they did it, but the defense stepped up big time where it really mattered. Concluding with Key 3, they did not play balanced football like I said they needed to, but in a game like this one, you can't complain. Jalen Hurts in this past game also stepped up big time. Look at these 2 big touchdowns by A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Wow, were they clutch in this game. Eagles fight their way to 3-0 on the year. We now move to number 1, where the Lions run all over the Ravens 38-30, 224 rushing yards for the Lions, capped off by this touchdown by David Montgomery. And that's where we start with Key 1. Get Gibbs going. He was good, had 2 touchdowns, but David Montgomery was the big winner here. What a night for him. 12 touches, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lions ran for 4 scores in total, 38 total runs. Amazing work here. Then we get to key 2, winning in the red zone. Lions on offense were great, but this defense, man, they put on a show tonight. Look at this stop on 4th down. Critical play, and then carrying it over to key 3, keeping Lamar Jackson off the field. Amazing job. Not only did they shut down the run game, but forced a fumble on Derrick Henry and 7 sacks. They sacked Lamar Jackson 7 times in this game, did not let him make plays with his legs very much. They were all over him. Shout out DC Kelvin Shepard. What a game he called tonight. And I said, whichever team wins the time of possession battle and red zone battle would win this game. Lions did so. They moved to 2-1 on the year. Then we get to Baltimore, and it was good until it wasn't. Yet another big-time defensive collapse in the 4th quarter, and this bunch has been disappointing for me so far through 3 weeks. Starting with key 1, staying disciplined on defense. Their defense was gashed all night long. Jared Goff had an efficient game as well, and when they needed to make a play, they simply couldn't. Look at this big 4th down catch by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Iced the game essentially here, and they did a bad job keeping the Lions offense off the field. Looking at key 2, they lost time of possession by 7 minutes. The Lions had 2 90-plus yard touchdown drives. 3 out of 10 would not recommend on a night like tonight. Lastly, with key 3, winning in the red zone on their end. The 4th down stop here, I'll show it again. This is a big moment in the game, and it's ultimately what lost them this battle in the red zone. Had they converted, things might have been different, but ultimately the Ravens fall to 1-2. They got a tough schedule coming up these next 3 games, so got to find a way to bounce back quickly. So now with that being said, top 5 games are out of the way. How did I do picking the rest of my games this week? Well, let's pull up the script, or pull up the screen, I should say, graphic, whatever you want to call it, right now. And starting with Dolphins-Bills, Bills win 31-21. That is a correct pick. I thought that the Bills would destroy the Dolphins. Dolphins had a little bit more fight in them than I thought, but ultimately, they could not do enough against Josh Allen and the Bills. Bills win. Dolphins move to 0-3. Bengals-Vikings. I had the Vikings winning this game, but holy crap, 48-10. Shout out Isaiah Rodgers. Had a pick 6, had a fumble return for a touchdown, another forced fumble. He had an amazing game. So shout out to him. Vikings win in a blowout fashion. Shout out Carson Wentz too for playing solid in this game. Then we get to Colts-Titans. Colts win 41-20. Jonathan Taylor ran all over the Titans defense. Daniel Jones also continued his success for the first couple of weeks. And quite frankly, if you want to watch my Titans recap video of that game, TLDR, Titans offense continues to do the same dang things over and over again, shooting themselves in the foot. This is a game I knew the Colts were going to win because the Titans are just that bad. And then Steelers-Patriots. Steelers win 21-14. Really close one throughout the majority of the game, but the Steelers pull away late. And for the Patriots, offense still isn't looking great. Penalties are still a problem. A lot of Mike Vrabel issues that I talked about are still very much prevalent right now on the New England Patriots. So take that for what you will. But Steelers get a win against an inferior team, moving to 2-1. Then the Packers at the Browns. The Browns win 13-10 off of a game-winning field goal. Holy crap. Was this not in my bingo card of picking games after such a strong start? The Packers offense was a dud against the Cleveland's defense. Cleveland's defense is good, but Jesus Christ, if their offense could do something, maybe the Browns would be better than I thought. But then again, the Browns are still 0-3. Well, I guess they're 1-2 now because they won, so scratch that. But the Browns get a walk-off win here. Good for them. They got a really, really good win here. I guess if you want to call it a good win. And I guess against the Packers, it is a good win. But they still won regardless. I did not get that one right. Wow. Jesus, the Packers was disappointing. But then we move to the Jets at the Bucks. Bucks win 29-27. I got this one right. The Jets, though, give them a lot of credit. They played hard in this game. They blocked a kick, ran it back for a touchdown to make it close. And then Baker Mayfield drives down the field for his 3rd consecutive game-winning drive. Chase McLaughlin hitting the game-winning field goal. So Bucks move to 3-0. They need to get a little bit better. They need to get a little bit more consistency on offense before they go into their tough stretch of games, because not very many teams are going to stand up to what the Bucks are. Not very many teams are going to be able to, or the Bucks, I don't know what I'm saying no more. You guys, I think you guys get what I'm trying to say here. The Bucks need to get their offense more on schedule. And then for the Jets, again, shout out to Aaron Glenn. This team is playing better than what they were last year as a whole. I think this Jets team is going to get better, and the game like this really convinces me of that. And then Saints-Seahawks. Seahawks win 44-13. Wow, the offense looked great again. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic job beating up on the Saints. Saints just did not look ready to play in this game very much, and the Seahawks moved to 2-1 on the year. Raiders at Commanders. Commanders ended up winning this one. I picked the Raiders. Commanders blew them out 41-24. Marcus Mariota started in this game over Jaden Daniels. Played great in this game. So I'm a Marcus Mariota stan. As you guys know, I'm a Titans fan, so got a soft spot for Marcus Mariota. So to see him play well, you know what? I'm going to be happy about that. Good job, Marcus. Great job. So Commanders get a bounce-back win after losing to Green Bay, moved to 2-1. Broncos-Chargers. This was a close matchup. Justin Herbert was great again, and it went down to a game-winning field goal, another one, this one by Cameron Dicker, and the Broncos moved to 1-2, and things right now are looking not so great again for the Denver Broncos. Cowboys-Bears. Cowboys lose 31-14 to Chicago. Chicago came out swinging. Caleb Williams, 4 touchdown passes. Luther Burden had his first touchdown, went over 100 yards, so a coming out party for him. Rome Odunze also looked good again in this game. The Bears got a much-needed win, and seeing how this team rallied around Ben Johnson, wow, they might have the right coach here. This was a very encouraging win for Dallas. Oh boy, this was a very demoralizing loss. What a fall back to earth against the Chicago Bears. Come on, you should have been more competitive than this. And then lastly, Chiefs-Giants on Sunday Night Football. Chiefs win 22-9. This was to be expected. Again, I don't know why the NFL schedule makers made this a primetime game. The Giants did nothing on offense all game long. Malik Neighbors held to only 2 catches for 13 yards. Chiefs defense is still playing pretty darn well. So shout out there. The Chiefs offense was better in this game. So that is my picks and my predictions. Everything breaking down, recapping NFL Week 3. If you guys have made it this far, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot. I appreciate it if you guys would do that. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers before the end of the 2025 regular season. So if you could get the word out and get people to hit those 2 buttons and help grow the channel, that'd be fantastic. Secondly, what do you guys think of Week 3? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you happy or are you not happy with your team winning or losing this week? And then thirdly, make sure you guys share this video on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Still continue to try to grow the community that we're building here. But that is going to do it for me. I'll see you guys in my Week 4 preview here coming out in the day after this one comes out. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And as always, I will see you all next time.